This is P.L. Myers, a shot to the top, pro wrestling's manager extraordinaire.
This is Steve Michaels, the master of the Chicago Bear Hug.
This is Tim Storm, former NWA World's Heavyweight Champion.
What's up, guys? This is Mr. 3%, John Hudson here, the gold standard of professional wrestling, the doctor of Gainsonomics, the nephew to Hercules, the grandson to Zeus, the son of the mother of Gains, and the creator of Gains Babies, and you are listening to What You Say with DDJ.
Welcome everyone to episode 13 of What Do You Say with DDJ. As always, I am your host DDJ, and as always, What Do You Say with DDJ is part of the Pro Wrestling Junkies Pod Squad, along with great shows such as The Junkyard, which will be having our official debut very soon, and Such Good Shoot. Check them out, bunch of great guys, Isaac, Shane, and Dozer. Guys are awesome. I'm not going to lie to you. This episode was a bit of a challenge. This episode contained a lot of first. I even debated on whether or not I was actually going to go through with this because my guest was late to the party and very unprofessional for the most part. But once we kind of got past that beginning, things kind of calmed down a little bit. But at the end, it kind of got a little testy. But you know what? I'm a man of my word. I'm a man of getting this show out to you each and every week. So I'm going to stick with it. And this episode is going to go on as advertised. But again, I will warn you, it was a challenge. My guest this week is Rockstar Jonny Nigh. You can see for yourself, make your own judgments about the type of person he is. But let's just say it's really interesting, and I'll leave it at that. So enjoy episode 13 of What Do You Say with DDJ and my guest, Rockstar Jonny Nigh. All right, everybody. Welcome to another episode of What Do You Say with DDJ. This is episode number 13, and we have a first. My guest was supposed to be Rockstar Jonny Nigh, but I guess 13 is really an unlucky number because he just decided not to show. I mean, I guess he thought he was better than everybody, better than me, better than this interview and all that. So I don't know. I mean, it was my whole plan. I had this episode all planned out, ready to go. Had a lot of great questions to ask him and that. So, yeah, I've never had this before. I mean, we agreed on a time, we agreed on everything, and he just decided not to show up. So, Rockstar Jonny Nigh, this is not cool. I will, be having a talk with your boss, Mr. John Bullard, who is a very good friend of mine, and see if something can be done about this unprofessional behavior, because I brought you on as a representative of Chicagoland Championship Wrestling, and, you're not exactly doing your boss proud. So I'm sorry again, guys. I really don't know what to expect. I told him to be here. It's at about 8 o'clock. It's Central Time. It's about 8:11 now, going on just about 8:12. And he just decided to no-show me. I mean, again, I'm upset. I'm sad. I was really looking forward to this. I got a lot of emotions going through me because in the almost 4 months I've been doing this podcast, I've never had this happen where a guy just blatantly no-showed and that. So, I mean, Oh, well, what do you know? I guess it's better late than never. Let's see if he's. Well, look who finally decided to show up. It's Rockstar Johnny Nigh. I guess I would say welcome, but I guess I'm just going to say better late than never.
You should say welcome. I mean, I've graced you with my presence on this show. This is my time is precious, my friend.
Mine too.
I was a little preoccupied, so you're welcome for me being here.
Well, gee, I guess I should say thanks for joining me since you already said you're welcome. So, hopefully I don't take up too much of your precious time.
Oh, I hope not.
I hope not either. So, first question I have for you is, where is Rockstar Johnny Nigh from?
All right, so I'll break down the whole origin story for you. You know, since I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt today, Mr. Dennis. I am originally from Crown Point, Indiana. Born and raised there. And when I was around, always loved wrestling. Huge into music. Those are my two passions growing up. They came to fruition, as you could see. When I was about 21, I discovered that Northwest Indiana was a crap hole, and I needed to get as far away as I could. So I moved over to Las Vegas because that fit my lifestyle. I mean, I like the party lifestyle, the rock star lifestyle. It made me feel more at home. So I went out there. I learned my craft. Toured with the band all over Europe, basically. We did a lot of state stuff, but Europe loves the deeper end. And that's and then, I mean, I'm sure you have a lot of questions, but then I came on to CCW recently, and there we are. I mean, that's the small gist, but I'm sure, you're going to ask more follow-up questions. I don't want to give you everything at once. I want to ruin it.
Yeah, you definitely don't want to, blow your load at the beginning here.
Exactly.
And that's
Rockstar never blows his load at the beginning.
Words of wisdom. So my next question for you is, how did you the Rockstar discover pro wrestling?
I would say when I was really young, probably around 5 years old, I remember having action figures of Hulk Hogan, Andre the Giant, Ultimate Warrior, Jake the Snake, just all the classic Hasbro figures, when I was real little. Mm-hmm. And I grew up, just seeing that larger than life feel, of that stage. And I knew that I was destined to be a part of that stage. And I was going to do anything and everything to get there. And then I stopped for a little while in middle school kind of area. And then in high school with the Attitude Era coming, I got way back into it, like really deep, and actually probably in junior high and then into high school. And then I just never stopped. It's just part of me.
So which would you say is a bigger passion in your life, music or wrestling?
Ooh. Dennis, that is a really good question. Because to me, they're kind of one and the same. I know that sounds weird, but my life, you see what you get with me. So with the music, it's part of my wrestling. So it's the stage. It's whatever stage I'm on, that's when I'm happiest. I just can't pick one over the other, honestly, because I love them both equally. It's two different huge forms of entertainment that most regular people will never understand, will never get to experience. and I've had the chance to experience both, and it's been wonderful.
Okay. So when you first started watching wrestling, were you a WWF guy or a WCW guy or an ECW guy, or did you watch them all?
Honestly, when I was a kid, I was WWF. Like real little. I loved the Hogans and Warriors and Macho Mans. But then when I started watching again in like, I don't know, 98 or something, I started with WCW. And the NWO stuff was awesome. That was, Sting at that time was cool as hell. Flair. I mean, even though I know that was kind of a weird spot for Flair, he still was awesome. I mean, Flair has been awesome since day one.
Mm-hmm.
I know he'll tell you that was kind of a weird spot for him because he didn't feel like he was the man, and I get it, but he was still entertaining as can be. So I started with them, and then they started kind of getting weird in like 2000, and so I kind of made the when late 99, I was like, man, this is getting really bad, and started to switch over. But during that time, I found ECW, and ECW was always cool. Always enjoyed watching ECW. I used to get like the pay-per-views and stuff on tape and watch those like a few months after they came out, and I was like, holy crap, this stuff is crazy. Whole nother world over there, but it was a fun time.
Yeah. Now, did you ever go to the shows when they would come to town?
Yeah, absolutely. I sadly never went to a WCW or ECW show. They just either for WCW, I think it was a matter of them just being sold out when I wanted to go see them. Like they were always sold out. And the first show I ever went to was WWF. It was in like August of '99 when Jericho debuted in Chicago.
Oh yeah, that I wanted to go to that show, but I can't remember why I didn't. But yeah, that would have been a great one to go to.
It really was. It was a hell of a show. And when it was so loud, I couldn't hear anything that was said during that promo in the building when Jericho came out. It was so loud. And so, I mean, that was just being in that crowd and feeling that made it just that much more where it's like, I have to do this.
Gotcha. So who were some of the Rockstar's favorite wrestlers when you first started watching?
I would say like I said before, the early days started with, the Hogans and the Macho Mans and the Ultimate Warriors. But then, when you kind of elevate and I came back to it, I started with like, I really enjoyed Sting, but I really liked the NWO when they first started. That was really awesome. The Outsiders were great. After that, I would say there's a lot of different guys. I got into The Rock for a little bit, but he was just, I don't know, he was never my guy. Triple H was more my guy when I got old enough to kind of understand who I liked more than others. I really liked Triple H at first. He just, the feuds he had with Austin and The Rock and Mankind were just epic. And he would always win. He would always find a way to win. And I thought that was just amazing. Like just seeing that desire to win no matter what was a huge thing. And I really just loved that. And then after that, I enjoyed Edge a lot during that Rated R Superstar stuff with Lita. That was really cool when he went up to the main event. The weird thing is when Edge was a mid-carder, like IC title stuff, like after the tag team with Christian, I didn't care for him like at all. And I thought he was good, but like I just didn't like his character at all. And then when he came with that character, he became like one of my top guys. I mean, we can go through the eras. I mean, just for kicks. I really liked Punk. CM Punk was, I mean, he was that guy that got it they didn't want him to get it, but he got it. And he spoke his mind, and like the fans made it where he just couldn't get buried. And he said whatever the hell he wanted. And I loved that. I loved just that honesty that he would just come out with. You know, the pipe bomb promo, obviously everybody is familiar with that. But I mean, every promo we had was they just let him go. He just go out there and like they'd give him the points. He just say whatever the hell he wanted. And that's how wrestling's supposed to be. I hate I got to recite these freaking 10 lines and they have to be exactly like this or I'm going to get yelled at. That is so crippling. And I think he's the last guy to really be able to have that freedom. Like there's guys that are still good that, you know, I enjoy now. Guys like Seth Rollins, guys like AJ Styles, you know, are great, you know, and they still do a good job. But I just don't know that anybody's had that freedom since Punk, at least not in WWE.
I got you. And I got to agree with what you said about how that it's better when they just give them the bullet points and let them go out and do their own thing. I believe these heavily scripted promos are kind of, you know, it's because a lot of times it's that they don't make sense or they don't really fit the character.
Yeah, only you know who you are.
Right.
You know, that's the thing. Like, I might be in a feud with this guy, but only I know what I would say and how I would say it. You know, you can tell me like you need to get this point across. Yeah. And I can go get that point across. And I think that it's hurting people, you know, from getting over as much as they could, because there's so many talented guys there. They're unbelievably talented. And they just don't get that chance to speak their mind.
So when did the Rockstar decide that he wanted to become a professional wrestler?
I've always wanted to, but I kind of fell into it, honestly. It was one of those things that like I was doing music and I didn't really know how to get into it. Like it wasn't like somebody, it's plastered on the wall like, hey, come be a wrestler. And I guess I was too busy with music, so I didn't really research it and, to figure that out. But I met a girl at a party and she told me that she was, had started training wrestling. And so I was like, where? And so we talked and I ended up going to training and the rest is kind of history. I got trained and did that whole deal. And, wrestling training is not easy, especially like going from padded tour buses and people treating you pretty nice to bumping in a boxing ring to train was fun times. It toughens you up. The original place that I trained for a long time, we trained in a boxing ring. And the only time we trained in the wrestling ring, because the wrestling ring was for shows, was if we got a nice day where we could set the ring up outside before training. So it was kind of rare that we did that. The first, though pretty much I was trained in a boxing ring, and it was tough.
Yeah, I've heard it's not pleasant, but okay. So obviously you decided to become a professional wrestler. Where'd you end up going to train, and who was your trainer?
There's a place in Demont called Acme Championship Wrestling,
Okay.
ACW, and they were like attached to a boxing school, is why we got trained in the boxing ring to begin with. And they brought in a trainer by the name of Brian Swartz, who is like his character his name is Roach on the Indies, and he basically went through everything. We had a lot of guys that came through that helped train, like Kenny Courageous, Johnny Motley was there. I think Dave Allen showed up for training. Grin, some guys like that from the area that just came in and did like guest spots. But Brian was the main trainer, and he just took us through all the drills that he was taught, and we'd do the push-ups and the squats and learn the craft. And then we'd after we were able to do it safely, then the company had I would say about 6-7 shows a year. They would take the summers off and then December and January they didn't really do anything. So like we'd have a few months that we didn't have a show, but all the other months we'd have monthly shows, and just learn your craft. And they put the student, the people that were just starting together, and then we wrestle outside talent from Fire Pro, and then various places around the area, ARW, like guys that were doing the circuits in Northwest Indiana. And that's pretty much, they put you in good situations, and I ended up really thriving there. I became a 2-time Intercontinental Champion there. My first reign was 409 days.
Wow.
That was a really good time over there. And then I had one heavyweight ACW heavyweight championship reign, and then I got injured at some point during there, and then had to actually vacate the title, which was pretty sad. After all that work, had to get actually a hernia surgery from doing all that. So that was, it is what it is. But had to give the title back, and then ended up broadening my horizons. Went to more music, and then went into the Chicago scene with RPW, IPW, and now Chicagoland Championship Wrestling.
Okay. First off, I can sympathize with you with hernia surgery, because I've had it done before too, and it is not fun.
No, it is not. DDP yoga, though, that helped a lot. If you've never done that, it really helps any sort of injury. And it stretched, because your midsection, when you have that, I don't want to get into great details, but it's very tight. You're very kind of hunched.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, in a week, I was back straight and not in any pain. It was really nice. Just giving him a shot,
Yeah, it was. It's something that I've been debating on doing for a very long time, and the more I hear about it, the more I'm like, what am I waiting for? So I think eventually I see myself getting involved with that too, because I'm trying to get myself into better shape as well too. So, did wrestling ever interfere with your music commitments?
Yeah, actually, the original contract I was offered from CCW, I was pretty much planned a tour, and we were supposed to go over to Europe and just basically do another rotation. It's supposed a lot of money involved. But CCW offered me an opportunity, and I delayed that tour, and then also because the money, I mean, CCW did not get the Rockstar for cheap. Okay, I mean, I got a lucrative contract that I decided that I could not pass up. So that's why I am in this area to begin with, and not back in Las Vegas or on tour in Europe, is because CCW decided that they wanted to offer me this substantial contract. And I decided then why not? So I stationed here for a while, and I also built a studio in the rural area out in Illinois, recording studio, so I can get my next album done. You were at the show, you heard my new hit single, Be Gone.
Yes, I did.
All right. Thank you. So now, you know what, Dennis? I'm gonna ask you a question. What did you think
Of the show or of your song?
of the song, sir?
I liked it. I'm not gonna lie. You know, I like good music, and that was good music.
I appreciate that. See, that was my gift to the Chicagoland Championship Wrestling fans. I don't think they truly appreciated it. I mean, I got a lot of people out there that were not really very nice to me, and I don't understand why. I just told them that this was my gift to them, you know, and I really delayed the release of this song that I could have been making money off of already, but I delayed it because the shows got canceled because of COVID. So like I was supposed to release this song in April. It's been done, but I saved it as a gift to the fans, and they just besmirched me, and I didn't understand why. I mean, and also like CCW management, they should have made sure it was in my contract that song was played for me to come out, and there was a big hassle with that. Bo Anderson had to come out there and complain and get him to play the song. We shouldn't have to do that. That's ironclad in my contract that song is played. And it was the debut, it was a gift. And I was a slap in the face. And I don't understand how, I mean, the CCW management can treat me this way. I don't understand.
Well, the CCW management has always struck me as being about the fans and stuff, and maybe it's just they saw you just treating the fans the way that you did, you know, or maybe it's the way you come across, because, you know, first impressions are always a big thing. So maybe that might be why, you know, you're feeling that, you know, everybody, you know, was trying to get out of this or not acquiesce to your demands.
I mean, I don't understand. I mean, I think I treat them pretty well. I mean, like I said before, it was a gift. It was a honest gift to them. I didn't get anything in return for waiting to let them hear that song. I'm a pretty selfless guy. I mean, that was a gift. I mean, yes, I did tell them that they should be privileged to hear that if these people living in this crap hole. But I mean, that's just the truth. I mean, I don't know why they got so upset about that. I mean, they know they live in a crap hole, right? I mean, they do know that, right?
I'm not going to comment on that because I'm not from that area where the show was.
Come on, Dennis, you know it was a crap hole.
No comment for me.
Keeping it safe. I see.
Yeah, I mean, I you know, want to be able to come to the next show and make it out alive, so I got to keep my mouth shut.
No, I'll be at the next show. I'll be at every show because I have an ironclad contract. I feel as if these people need to start showing me some respect. I mean, it's very important to me. Respect is very important to me. And I feel like if they don't, I mean, things are just going to get worse. I mean, it's not my fault. They only have themselves to blame.
So so you say things are going to get worse. If you're not shown the respect that you think you should be getting. Is this can you elaborate on this, or is this something that you want to kind of keep close to the vest?
Well, I can elaborate a little bit on the disrespect. There's multiple things besides the fans. I mean, the fans, I understand that management can't control them, although they are ungrateful and shouldn't be booing me as much as they did. I felt like that was really unnecessary. I wasn't doing anything wrong. But if you noticed, my match was originally supposed to be with Mega Chris Jones. Well, I call him Mega Man, but whatever his name is. And he didn't show up, okay? I don't know what happened. John Bullard said something about sugar in his gas tank. I don't know anything about that. I remember
hearing.
I don't know anything about that. That's not my problem. He might have made some enemies along the way, and maybe they just didn't appreciate the way he was to them, and so they sugared him up. That's not my problem. But, I won that match. They counted him out. He didn't show up, and I was declared the winner. And John Bullard had to get on the microphone and say he has a new opponent for me. I mean, how many matches do I need to win, Dennis? I mean, he gives me this guy that's trained by Seth Rollins, and he brings him out there. That vanilla midget over there, Gunner Brave, and I'm fighting this guy now. And I didn't have a chance to prepare for him. I didn't know if he was COVID tested. That's why I made him use the hand sanitizer. I don't know if you know this, Dennis, but people are dirty, and I don't need them around me if I don't know that they're okay. Okay? I mean, that's just a fact. That's why we're in this mess to begin with, is because people go into the bathroom, they don't wash their hands, they touch the doorknobs and rub all over everything. They're freaks. There's something wrong with that. That's what we're living with. Sorry. I mean, got a little heated there, but it's just, come on, people.
It's cool. It's cool. I mean, I'm giving you, as unprofessional as it was to show up late for this interview, I'm still giving you your chance to, get your voice heard and stuff. So, I want to hold up my end of the deal. So.
Well, I appreciate that. Have you had, are you a wine fan, Dennis? Have you had any good wines lately?
I'm more of a beer / apple ale kind of guy.
Okay, I can understand that. I'm normally a bourbon person, to be honest, but the Bellas sent me this wine as a gift, and it is splendid. I actually really like it. So I figured I'd share that information with you while I enjoy this class. Yeah, you'll have to check it out.
What is the name of the wine?
I'm gonna be honest, I don't know. It's a white wine. It's the new one that they came out with. I got the bottle in the kitchen, but I don't remember what it is.
I'll just have to Google Bella Twins wine or something like that.
There you go.
Find it out. Okay, since we're on the subject of wine and that kind of stuff, have you ever had a chance to partake in a little bit of the bubbly?
I actually have. Mr. Jericho's personal friend of mine. I was on his cruise in January, and he set me up with a suite and a couple of bottles of the bubbly. And then he sent me a care package in the mail, when he found out that I was engaged. And I had a couple of bottles last weekend when we got home from our trip. And it was really nice. The bubbly is actually really, really good. I'm not usually a champagne guy, but it's nice. It's really smooth.
I will agree. I'm not a champagne kind of guy either, but a friend of mine and I, we went in on a couple of bottles for New Year's Eve at his house, and between us, our wives, and some other people that were there, we split it, and I got to admit, it was really good. I really liked it.
Yeah, and champagne's usually really dry, and I'm not really a fan. But this one is just sweet enough, but it's not too sweet. It's just, yeah, it's right there. It's really good. Stephen Amell actually owns the winery that's made
Oh,
from.
wow.
Yeah, that's cool.
Very cool. So you mentioned your time on the Jericho Cruise, and that was actually something I was going to get into, because when doing my research and kind of trying to get a little bit of background info on you and stuff, I believe it's your profile picture on Facebook is a picture of you with Jericho, and I'm assuming your significant other.
Yeah.
On there. So what was your experience? You obviously gave it, told us about how he set you up in a suite, with a couple bottles of the, of the bubbly, and sent you the care package once learning of your engagement, which congratulations, by the way, on your engagement.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that.
No, so what was it like being on the cruise?
Honestly, it was really cool. There was live entertainment the whole time, 24 hours. You wake up, live entertainment. You go like all the way until you couldn't stand anymore. I mean, there was a live wrestling ring on the top deck where they had shows every single night. They filmed Dynamite there. It was really awesome. And then they had a really good, Jericho's band, Fozzy, is actually excellent live. They played 3 or 4 shows throughout the time we were there, and they were really good. I mean, he's the total package. He's got it. And another band on there, Light the Torch. I don't know if you've ever heard of them. They're very, very talented. I got to hang out with them, and they were really awesome. Most of the time outside of that, I hung out with MVP. Me and him are friends from a show back a while ago out in Chicago. And so I hung out with MVP and Jake Hager, and the Proud and Powerful guys were there, but they were kind of over in the corner. But basically me, MVP, and Jake Hager were hanging around drinking whiskey. It was a good time.
Sounds like it. So I kind of want to get into a little bit more of your music career here, because you're unlike anybody I've ever had on the show. I've never had a rock star on the show, and that. So was there anybody like that you either wrestling wise or music wise that you tried to pattern your rock star character after?
Oh, that's a great question. Wrestling wise, I like to take bits and pieces from everyone I like. That's kind of the montage of what you see when you're growing up. Is you take things, and I actually spoke to Scott Hall on the cruise, and he had told me the best thing to do is to look at the old stuff and pick and choose things that you like, and you do them your way, and do them even better, and that was a really cool explanation of how he made it and how I can benefit from his expertise. And so I emulate. Honestly, I'm my own person. I don't think I'm like anyone. I mean, there's lots of guys that are faux rock stars. I mean, Jericho's the only actual person that is outside of me. He's the only person that's played in a damn band that has ever claimed to be a rock star. I'm the only other person that has taken that and actually done it. You know, it's not a lie. It's not a gimmick. It's me. It's my life. It's my world. And that's the kind of thing that irritates me, is when I see all these people out there and they're considered rock stars. You know, even when people compare me to Edge, okay? Just because, you know, I might do this once in a while. This is not Edge's. This is a thing that you see at a concert. It's the devil horns. That's what people do at concerts. It's part of it. It's part of the rock lifestyle. That isn't Edge's hand signal. It's not the too sweet. It's not what it is. I'm not Edge. Never going to be Edge. I don't want to be Edge. I'm me. I'm the first and the only rock star Johnny Nigh that will ever exist. And I am going to supersede the people that came before me.
Wow. So okay, so we're getting more into the rock star. What is a rock star? What is the rock star's lifestyle like? Like, take me through, you know, a day in the life or a week in the life of the rock star.
Well, it really depends on the week, but I'm very busy. Very, very busy. I have to get up early and I have to go to bed late because I work on my craft. If it's music, I go to the studio. It's out in Amish country. I don't know if you heard. There are some issues with that. But my studio is out in Amish country. There's been some issues with them wanting to start fires. They came after me with a pitchfork. There's lots of issues out there. I kind of regret building it there. But, you know, whatever. I bought the bank. I bought their land from the bank. And they're mad at me because they think I bought the land out from under them. But if it wasn't already owned by the bank because they couldn't pay their bills, then I wouldn't own the land now, would I? But
No.
they're pissed, and they came after me with flaming pitchforks with hay bales and stuff. Good thing I have big security out there because it's crazy. I mean, I have these big spotlights, and I figured that would help them because they could farm 24/7. I mean, wouldn't you think that would help?
Logic would dictate it.
I mean, they're mad because I have the big spotlights. They're pissed off at me, and I don't understand why. I mean, I understand that they don't use electricity. I've been informed of that. But they're not using it. I am. So why can't they just benefit off the illuminated farmland that I've provided for them?
Who knows? You know, I mean,
yeah, I mean, I know there's no answers. I can't give you answers, but yeah. So like back to that, the point at hand. I usually spend some time in the studio working on the music, working on different songs. I have some guys that I work with. My guitar player Alex is fantastic. He is the lead guitar on the song Be Gone, and we've been working on new material and recording, and it's been great. And outside of that, I usually get some gym time in, some training session time to work on wrestling. And then I mean, you know, I'm a rock star, my friend.
Mhm.
There's got to be time for partying. Maybe not every single day, but a lot of days there's got to be time for partying. You got to make it happen. I mean,
right.
there's not a lot of sleep in my life recently. I mean, I'm still on a high from the 2-0 that I am at CCW. I mean, 2 wins in one night. I mean, you gotta give me credit for that.
Yeah, I mean, nobody else, I think, went 2-0 that night.
Exactly. I should be in line for a title shot or something. I mean, 2-0. No one else can say they're 2-0.
That's so you mentioned parties. Give me, you know, my show is always about getting to kind of know what goes on beyond the ring and stuff. So what's a typical party like for the rock star?
Oh, okay. Yeah, we're gonna get into the fun stuff, huh? All right, Dennis.
Let's do it.
I see you. All right. Well, as you know from the show, I am the leader and founder of the Sin City Playboys with my boys Tully Bertarelli and Solomon Stone. We are managed by Bulletproof Bo Anderson. And I don't know if you know this, but Solomon Stone is the son of a casino owner. Well, a chain of casino owners. And he just happens to have quite a few locations in our lovely hometown of Las Vegas. And so there was a night out there when we started the group, and they decided to hire, like they were trying to thank me for getting this whole group together and starting it. So they decided to hire like a group of midgets, and they put like, you know how they, you know, when they hold, like back in the days, they like hold like the king on the stand and they walk him down somewhere. Well, the midgets were holding this thing, and so like I'm not really a huge fan of heights, so like I think they did that so like I wouldn't be so high. So I was still only like 5 feet off the ground. So it was awesome. It was like you're on top of the world, you know, just yelling, "I'm king of the world." I mean, there was I don't know if you can appreciate the fantasticness of this, but I mean, there was a lot of whiskey before that, so maybe I'm over embellishing, but it was pretty awesome. I'm not gonna lie, and it kept me from being afraid that I would fall, because if I fell, I'm not gonna fall like 2 feet. I mean, so it's really not a huge deal.
So, okay, so last question I have for you is what is in store for CCW at the hands of the Sin City Playboys?
Oh, that's a great question. And you know what? I'm gonna give you part of the answer. I'm gonna give you a little exclusive.
You heard it here first.
What's that?
I said you heard it here first.
There you go. So, all right. So the Sin City Playboys. So the tag team of Tully and Solomon were in one match, and I was in my own singles match. So I made a plan to have our next bout be together.
Okay.
Now, I'm not going to reveal who our opponents are. That will come in time. But we are going to establish ourselves as a unit at this next show. That is very important to me, because I don't know that anybody understands fully how like this we are. We are a well-oiled machine, and until we get to display that, I don't feel like people really will understand the magnitude of what they're in for with the Sin City Playboys. The Sin City the Sin City Playboys are going to be unstoppable. I mean, think about it. I'm 2-0. They won their match very decisively, I might add.
Mm-hmm.
So as a unit, we are 3-0 in CCW. And that is not going to change anytime soon. We are going to take over. If we want the tag team titles for Tully and Solomon, we'll have them. When they get debuted, we'll have them. If I want the heavyweight title or the television title that will debut at some point, they're going to, I know he's announced that there is going to be a television title. I don't know when it's going to happen. I'll have it. It's whatever I decide I will have. You see, there's always a plan in my head. I know what needs to be done. And I know what it takes to reach the top. And I will step on whoever I need to get there. I don't care who you are. I will end you along the way. So, to all the opponents out there, if you draw the short straw of having to wrestle me, good luck. You're going to need it.
Alrighty then. So before I let you go, so you can get back to the studio or whatever it is you have on your busy schedule, how can people reach you on social media? And also, is there a place where people can go to buy your merchandise?
Merchandise would be the prowrestlingtees.com/rockstar Jonny Nigh. All one word, obviously, but very important. I'm actually going to make a really strong point of this. My name, Jonny, does not have an H in it. I hate when people put an H in my freaking name. My name is Jonny. So if you search it wrong, you ain't going to find me. So use your head. And it's Rockstar Jonny Nigh. And also on Facebook, I believe it's facebook.com/Rockstar Jonny Nigh. And then Twitter as well. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure everything is Rockstar Jonny Nigh. So yeah, just Instagram actually as well. So if you don't see it right away, just type my name in. It'll show up. Trust me. But my Pro Wrestling Tees is definitely /Rockstar Jonny Nigh.
Awesome. Well, Jonny, even though you were a little late to the interview, I still want to thank you for making an appearance on my show.
You know what? I appreciate you having me. I'm going to be nice to you, but until then, be gone.
All right, and there you have it, Jonny Nigh. Well, like I told you, it was a bit of a challenge. I mean, he had some really cool stories, some really fun things to talk about in that, but still, Rockstar, he is everything as advertised. He is a true rock star. Can't believe I'm still doing this, but he is reachable on all major social media platforms under Rockstar Jonny Nigh, and that's without an H, because as you remember, he hates it when people spell his name with an H. You can also go to prowrestlingtees.com to get a Rockstar Jonny Nigh shirt if you feel the need to do so, although I don't know why you would after this episode. But, I mean, again, he did have some interesting and fun stories, so I'll give him that. Jonny will also be part of the next CCW show on April 17th in Michigan City, Indiana. Information should be coming across your screen as I speak. And also, then this is if you're watching this on YouTube. If you're listening to this on one of the major podcast platforms, the information will be on the episode description. Thanks again, everybody, for listening to another episode of Whaddya Say with DDJ, and I'll see you in about a week with a brand new episode.